welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley, and I'm joined by Kris Watkins from the Tri-Cities Visitor and Convention Bureau. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm
Great.
So glad you could be
Well, it's
here.
wonderful to be here today.
Yes, and maybe we could start off. So many people benefit from the tourism that comes into this area,
Right.
but they might not have a full understanding of what the Bureau does. So maybe you could just tell us a little bit about your mission.
Absolutely, and most people, I can't say most people, there's quite a few people that have built more awareness of what the importance of tourism. But for those that aren't aware of a destination marketing organization like the Tri-Cities Visitor and Convention Bureau, there is these DMOs located throughout the nation, and basically our job is to help build positive awareness of our regions, and the Tri-Cities Visitor and Convention Bureau really works hard in promoting the Tri-Cities region throughout the Pacific Northwest and to some degree throughout the nation and international as well. And
you do a great job because you bring the tourists in, and maybe you could share with us some of the numbers and the dollar values that you're pumping into our local economy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, visitor spending, and this is based on last year's figures, spent $392 million. And so when you consider that about 87% of those businesses are small businesses in the Tri-Cities region that are receiving those dollars, then you begin to really realize the true economic impact of tourism. Also provides jobs. We have over 5,100 Tri-Citians that are employed in the travel and tourism industry in our region. And I think one of the most important things is that it helps to offset the tax burden on our local citizens. Over $31 million in state and local taxes are generated as a result of tourism in the Tri-Cities region. So
that's a
three
really
very
good point.
important reasons, yes.
Because when people think of tourists coming, they might not think of that tax advantage to them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's always delightful when you're out and about, say you're out at a restaurant or out walking by the river, to meet people who are here to see and enjoy and kind of share with them some of the nice things to do. So people do come and join the area.
Yes.
What do you do to go out and recruit them? How do you bring them in?
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a number of ways, and our programs are very outlined. So we do have a strategic marketing plan to market the Tri-Cities region, and you know, we advertise in areas, and we can't advertise to all markets, but we concentrate on the Pacific Northwest, primarily the Puget Sound region. So we are running television commercials in that market. We are also placing direct advertising in targeted pieces, such as those travel magazines. We pitch stories to travel writers, and so that's pitching stories about the great things that are happening, what make the Tri-Cities a unique place. And then I think our largest program is convention and sports marketing. Oh, yeah. And this is where we are, it's sales. It's just, it basically comes down to sales. It's knocking on doors of meeting planners and sports tournament directors and inviting them to bring their business to the Tri-Cities region. And we pretty much work with the entire community. We work very closely with our hotel partners, our public venues, and all the attractions. And so when we place a bid out, it truly is a community bid, and it's truly a community effort. And so it's great to be able to have all of these businesses that fall under the umbrella of the Visitor and Convention Bureau, so that we have a very unified marketing plan to offer to people coming into the Tri-Cities.
Well, you do a nice job, because I'll get to talk to the people when they come in for these major events, conventions and sporting events, and they're always so happy with the services, and they're also really happy with how friendly the people in the Tri-Cities are. Because
absolutely,
that makes a big difference if you can come to an area with nice weather, people that are happy to have you, people that are quick to give directions or offer a suggestion on a restaurant. That makes a big difference.
Tri-Cities has come a long ways. I mean, we have come truly a long ways in terms of building a positive perception, and people in just about all cases leave with a very positive impression of the Tri-Cities, and our local businesses do a very good job, as well as our citizens, in welcoming these groups.
Well, we're also getting people moving in who are retiring. We've had several reports where our economy is looking good compared to so many other places. We're getting some good national press that way. And I know you've brought several travel writers in. I've been seeing some good reports about that.
We get written up as far as Japan, China, the UK, Germany. They love our wine region. They love the wide open spaces. And so that definitely is a market that's up and coming. But what we primarily concentrate on is, although I'd love to have those dollars to spend in marketing the area, we do concentrate on the Pacific Northwest, and we're definitely beginning to get our fair market share of that business.
Now, you mentioned the dollars. You know, the budgets are tight every place, and
That's
you're
right.
doing more and more heavy lifting to
That's
keep
right.
this good work up.
That's right. You know, and it really is a shame because the state of Washington has closed their tourism bureau, so we are one of 2 states in the entire nation that does not have a tourism budget. So you're right. Local destinations and marketing organizations like ours in the state of Washington really have to place strategic partnerships so that we're able to get that exposure. So we work closely with the Port of Seattle and the Seattle Convention and Visitor Bureau in helping us to be able to bring travel writers in and groups in. So those partnerships need to be very, very strategic.
Well, you have very strong alliances with a wide variety of people.
Yes, we do.
Who are some of the folks that help you bring the people in that, you know, your average viewer might not know about? Who are your strong teaming partners?
Yeah, and I guess it is a team, and it is a team sport, because when you're bringing in conventions and you're bringing in sports, and the Visitor and Convention Bureau also manages the Tri-City Sports Council is a program of the Visitor and Convention Bureau. It's not just my staff. It's the team that's working together, the athletic directors. It is the citizens that are helping to pull that business into our Tri-Cities region. For convention groups, I just mentioned earlier that we have a variety of different hotel venues and public venues that go to work and help us to pull that business in. And then once you book the business, you got to make sure that they're a satisfied customer so that we get that repeat business.
You've worked so hard to grow it so well, and everything is advanced. What would you like to do next? What's your next step to grow it even further?
Well, you know, I think you have to take, and we have grown leaps and bounds over the last 10 years. I almost feel like it's just a straight, you know, vertical growth, and so sometimes it's nice to just slow down a little bit.
Yes.
But you know, it's always technology. There's always, you can do a better job on your website. I mean, we just redid our website a year and a half ago. Well, guess what?
The website looks fantastic.
Well, it does look fantastic, and you know, for those that have not seen our website, go to visittricities.com, and it's very well used. It definitely is a great portal to the Tri-Cities region to learn about it, but you always have to update it. There's always new programs. You've got to keep it fresh and alive, and so that's definitely something that we need to continue working on. And you know, and I always think in terms of where can we take the area to a new level with the Tri-Cities Regional PFD, some of the programs are projects that they proposed, whether it be their aquatic center. That's needed in our area.
Oh yes,
I mean,
especially with these hot, dry summers. Absolutely.
And we get a lot of inquiries from visitors wanting that experience. An expansion of a convention center, we need to do this. We are at a point where we may lose business because our convention groups have grown so large in terms of delegate numbers that I'm fearful that they're going to leave the Tri-Cities, and believe me, my competition's just waiting. So we hope to see where there's an expansion on the convention center as well. I will say that I couldn't be more pleased with our city partners, City of Richland, Kennewick, and Pasco, and West Richland, because they all partner with our organization, and through their hotel motel tax, we're able to do a real decent job for the region in promoting our area.
You brought up a good point that I sat on the Yakima Visitor and Convention Bureau board for a long time, and really
that's right.
enjoyed
We've talked about that.
The time that I had there, and it is fiercely, you might not realize this, but this is a fiercely competitive industry, so doing those things to maintain and keep people coming in is so important.
Absolutely. You know, we do align ourselves with Yakima and Walla Walla for leisure travel.
Yes, because people might want to stop in several places while they're taking a drive, or several days to see the whole region.
Right. So you'll see us at some trade shows where we are side by side with Yakima and Walla Walla. But when it comes to conventions and when it comes to sports, yes, we are fiercely competitive, and we have probably every major city in the state of Washington is after those sports and those convention groups. So
it's nice to bring them in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Kris, thank you. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Well, thank you
for your time.
And thank you for this great opportunity.
All right, thank you. That's Kris Watkins from the Tri-Cities Visitor and Convention Bureau, and you're watching Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley, and have a wonderful day.